And all of a sudden, Destiny's Child walks out for the first time since 2018. It's Monday, July 28th, and everybody's talking about the clip of Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. All three back together again, looking good in their cowboy outfits. The two even got solo singing parts, and they did a little rendition of Lose My Breath, like you just heard, Beyonce's Energy, and Bootylicious.
Can't imagine this is just a one-time thing, right? Like, why come out at the end of the tour to do this whole thing? I feel like they're gearing up for something, no?
Nah.
The other girls aren't doing anything.
I don't think they like, what's her name? Is it Kelly? The new girl who ended up joining?
No, it was just the three that were up there.
Yeah.
So those three are like besties. Michelle, Kelly, and Beyonce. It's the fourth one.
It's Michelle. Michelle was the new one who kind of like replaced somebody back in the day, right?
I think so. But these three, like, I see these three together. These three are solid.
These three are solid.
Yeah.
I still feel like they don't like Michelle, though.
But then
I
why
just don't
invite
think
her?
Michelle. I don't think Michelle has the pipes like the other two.
Yeah, and I just don't, you can't have two Destiny's Child, right? So at least three. So I think she just kind of gets...
Hey, I would fine.
I'll take it.
Give me the layup. I'll be Michelle.
I'll take it.
Guys need a Michelle?
Wow.
Hitmaker.
What is Act 3 gonna be? What kind of genre of music she gonna lean into? Afro beats, reggae, hip hop. Her and Jay-Z do everything is love part 2. What we getting with Act 3?
I honestly feel like rock and roll. Like he really is channeling her Tina Turner era. Like, she's doing that. I think rock and roll is gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be obviously some other things thrown in there, but this was what's her name? What's the daughter name?
Blue Ivy.
This was Blue Ivy's tour.
Period.
Yep. And Rummy. Yeah, this was their tour.
A lot of people want to see the original because of the Destiny's Child reunion that happened the final day of the tour in Vegas that we talked about. A lot of people want to see the original
So Act 3 would be the Destiny's Child.
Oh, Act 3, that would be
they
hard
wanna
because
see
that
that.
would be 3 because it's 3 of them. You know what I mean? Act 3 would be hard if it was
That would be
Destiny's
great.
Child
That would be
reunion.
dope.
Yeah,
That'd
hell
be
yeah.
fire.
Yes.
Cause I would be there. What?
You'll be there regardless.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. I have a reputation in the music industry. I don't have to say much. Yes. Yeah.
People go into Sony and remind all these executives when they get too much of a big head, just remember who covered these lights.
Right. It's a Kanye.
Whoa! Look at me, please, I don't say that.
I want people to appreciate and respect me as an artist. I think that's what successful is for me. And I want Destiny's Child to come back and kill it. I want us each to grow individually, become stronger, and write some great songs together and do something unpredictable and different and basically show the world that girls can get along and girls can love each other and girls can go do solo records that are successful and still come back and love their group members.
Our stylist, Tina, knows Beyonce's mom. She actually comes up with everything, and sometimes she'll give us input, like if we want to put something in, but she's so brilliant when she comes up with all the designs and everything. She's always up to date with the trends and fashions and everything, so she's always right on point and right on time. Even if we're overseas and she may be in the States designing something for us, it's perfect and we love it every single time.
That's the great thing about having someone as close to you, your mother as the stylist, because she knows what we like and she knows our bodies.
Oh God, I get emotional because, I got a lot of flack for designing, because I wasn't formally trained. So people used to put my designs down and then I'd see them on a runway. They copy them, but they would say, oh God, she's so tacky and she doesn't know what she's doing. And I took a lot of abuse for that time, but my girls never wavered. They always believed in me.
You won't believe what just went down behind the scenes of Destiny's Child. Decades after the group made history, old wounds reopened, secrets were confronted, and one former member finally spoke her truth. Latavia Roberson just gave an interview that's shaking up everything. We thought we knew about the group's past stand, especially about Matthew Knowles. And trust me, the story is way messier than anyone expected. If you thought Destiny's Child's drama ended with the turn of the millennium, think again. This isn't just nostalgia. This is decades of betrayal, hurt. A long-awaited moment where one woman decided to finally call out the man who let her down. Let's start from the beginning. Latavia Roberson was one of the original members of Destiny's Child. She, along with the other girls, auditioned together, trained together, and literally grew up side by side. For over a decade, these young girls shared not just a career, but a bond that most people can only dream of. They traveled the world as teenagers, spent countless days together, and leaned on each other through every challenge. Latavia wasn't just a bandmate, she was family. And that's what made everything that came next so painful because, as we all know, not everything that glitters in Destiny's Child was gold. In 2000, everything changed. Latavia and her sister Latoya were suddenly kicked out of the group. Just like that, their world flipped upside down. One day, they were part of a family chasing a dream. The next, they were left out, replaced, and silenced. Think about it. You've spent your entire adolescence building a career, sharing your life with these people, and suddenly, you're gone. The betrayal cut deep, not just professionally, but personally. Losing the group meant losing the childhood you'd known, the dream you'd worked for, and the friends you trusted with your life. And while the public didn't know the full story, Latavia carried that pain for years. She struggled with loneliness and turned to alcohol at times. She even had a DUI. Life without Destiny's Child was a rebuilding process she never asked for, but she handled it with strength. Fast forward over 2 decades, and the universe decided to give her a moment of healing, but also confrontation. September 2023. Beyoncé is performing in Houston during her Renaissance tour, and for the first time in 23 years, she invites Latavia backstage. Imagine that moment to women who shared everything. Finally in the same room after more than 2 decades, Latavia described it as beautiful, emotional, and almost surreal. They prayed together. They hugged like no time had passed. Beyoncé even rested her head in lap at one point. Pictures were taken with Kelly, Michelle, and Latoya, 5 members in one room. A reunion nobody thought would ever happen. Even Jay-Z got involved, hugging Latavia and reminding her that Beyoncé still loves her. It was a moment of reconciliation, of healing, and proof that, despite everything, the bonds formed in childhood can still hold strong. But as we all know, peace doesn't always last forever. Enter Matthew Knowles, the man who had been a father figure at least. In appearances to Latavia and the other girls during their teenage years, Beyoncé encouraged Latavia and Latoya to meet him for dinner, where he promised to give them a plaque, a gesture of reconciliation. Latavia, seeing him as someone who had guided them as kids, agreed. But what started as a seemingly innocent dinner quickly turned into a confrontation. Matthew started deflecting, shutting down conversations, and most shockingly made insensitive comments about Latavia's mother, Cheryl Mitchell, who was a breast cancer survivor. Cheryl wasn't just her mother, she was the group's chaperone, the one holding everything together while Matthew was, well, doing what he did. Latavia said it perfectly. "I'm done because my mother was the one who held your fort down. And you were out here doing what you did to Miss Tina." For context, Matthew had a history of cheating on Tina, Beyoncé's mother, which eventually led to the end of their marriage. And now, decades later, Latavia was staring down the same man who had dismissed her feelings all those years. And that's when things got real. Latavia finally stood up. She didn't mince words. She didn't try to be polite. She confronted him for all the years of manipulation, dismissal, and betrayal. "So why am I here? You are a pompous son of a, and I'm not a little girl you can control. I'm leaving." She walked out, refusing to sit through the gaslighting. Latoya tried to intervene, but Latavia was done. And even as she left, Matthew had the audacity to ask, "Are you at least going to open my gift?" Talk about tone deaf. Latavia's response: karma. And a reminder that people who screw over others rarely get away with it. This wasn't just about a dinner. It was decades of mistreatment coming to a head. To really understand the impact, you have to look at the way Matthew controlled the girls' lives. He was their manager, yes, but he also had the kind of power that made teenage girls feel voiceless. Latavia and Latoya were making just $1,000 a week while touring with TLC, doing 5 or 6 shows a week. Meanwhile, Matthew was benefiting financially from their work. And it wasn't just money. Beyoncé had a voice when it came to her father, but the other girls, they were expected to stay silent no matter how unfair things got. When they finally tried to speak up about being underpaid, they were kicked out like they meant nothing. All of this left deep emotional scars on Latavia. The years of being controlled, silenced, and dismissed didn't just affect her career, they seeped into her personal life, shaping her sense of self and her relationships. Being kicked out of Destiny's Child, the group that had been her family, her support system. And her childhood dream wasn't just a professional blow-it, was a personal one. She felt the loneliness of watching her friends continue on a path she had been forced to leave behind, while she struggled to find her footing in a world that seemed to have moved on without her. Those formative years, when most teenagers are learning who they are and what they want, were overshadowed by betrayal and disappointment. In coping with all of that, Latavia faced real challenges. She turned to alcohol at times, trying to numb the pain of her losses. She faced legal troubles, including a DUI, and wrestled with the difficult process of rebuilding her life from scratch. But this wasn't just about mistakes or bad choices. It was the result of years of being under someone else's control, of feeling voiceless and having the decisions about her life and career constantly dictated by others. It's a story that echoes far beyond the music industry, one that anyone who has been silenced, manipulated, or undervalued can relate to. But here's the thing: Latavia didn't stay down. She didn't let the past define her. She reclaimed her voice in the most powerful way possible. She refused to be gaslit, refused to sit quietly while someone who had caused her pain tried to rewrite history, and walked out with her dignity intact. That moment at the dinner with Matthew Knowles wasn't just about confrontation, it was a declaration of self-respect, a refusal to accept disrespect in any form, and a powerful example of taking control of your own narrative. And then there was the reunion backstage with Beyoncé. That moment was more than symbolic. It was proof that love, connection, and forgiveness are possible even after years of pain and betrayal. Latavia and Beyoncé's bond formed when they were just girls chasing a dream, had endured despite everything that had happened. They were able to reconnect, pray together, hug, and simply be present with one another. That bond had survived, proving that even when life takes people in different directions, the connections that truly matter can withstand time, distance, and hurt. Latavia's story is also about personal growth. The birth of her first child in 2013 marked a turning point in her life. It was not simply about finding stability or rebuilding her career, it was about reclaiming her life, her voice, and her happiness. She began to define herself on her own terms, separate from the expectations, control, and betrayals she had endured in her youth. Her journey is a testament to resilience, self-respect, and the power of reclaiming your own story. So, what can we take from all of this? Destiny's Child wasn't just a pop group. It was a story about power, betrayal, resilience, and ultimately, triumph. Matthew's actions left scars, yes. But Latavia's courage to confront him decades later is nothing short of inspiring. She didn't just face the past, she took control of it. She claimed her story, her voice, and her justice. It's a reminder that even when others try to rewrite your history or dismiss your experiences, it's never too late to speak your truth. Stand up for yourself and demand the respect you deserve. Healing even from wounds decades old is possible. And Latavia's story is living proof of that. Now I want to hear from you. What would you do if someone from your past tried to dismiss everything you went through? Could you confront them like Latavia did? Or would you walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't just gossip, it's a lesson in resilience, truth, and power. If you want more stories about music, legends, old rivalries, and shocking revelations, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what comes next.